Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title down below, in this video we are going to be harvesting and cleaning up some of this pumpkin and the pumpkin vine. So as you can see, this pumpkin vine, I should say two pumpkin vines. I do have two separate pumpkin plants planted in this section, but they are kind of gone out of control. They are overtaking the garden. They are going up on our concrete space and area. And as you can see, just roughly where my hands are now, there are some weeds growing amongst them as well, which I definitely need to take care of. So I'm just going along harvesting some pumpkins mainly in this space so I can use my clothesline, which is behind me again, and just clearing up the vine completely. As you can see, I'm ripping it up. Now, ripping up the pumpkin vine was a bit of a little task, but it was also kind of fun.
Alright, so we just got the first pumpkin. It was definitely not ready by here. I would show it more in better lighting, but it was getting sunburnt. So it does have soft sunspot. The colouring, this is the colour that we do want. So yeah, it's definitely not ready, but we'll just see how it goes. But I would prefer to pick that, and hopefully it will ripen inside, and this whole mess becoming more and more out of control.
You can also tell with these leaves on our pumpkin vines is so many healthy, great leaves, and a lot of them are just taking a big hit with the summer we've just been having and the heat, and they're just, some of them are crispy and not looking the best. So I definitely could have just cut these vines back and still let them keep going and keep growing, but I want to get ready for autumn and winter and just put something new in the garden. In total we have got 25 pumpkin vines. Now this video was filmed a few weeks ago, so I've now have done a separate video again, more present to this one, and the vine is completely out of the ground, and yeah, a total of 25 pumpkins that these two vines have grown, which is absolutely fantastic. So although I could still keep the vine, again, I don't need any more than 25 pumpkins in total. That is plenty for Nick and I. And we're going to be doing some canning projects and some great yummy recipes for in the freezer, and I got all sorts planned with these pumpkins, which is great. But yeah, we're just clearing up the whole vine. Not so much in this video. In total that is all getting cleared up, but in this video I just wanted to do just this one section, and I've just been working at it bit by bit just to make it a bit more of an easy task and a manageable task to do. Now as you can see as well, the vines are all tangled within one another, so it does make it a little bit tricky to rip out and remove. But what I did do with these vines is I just kind of yeeted them out to the space next to me, and in that space we are going to eventually have some grass and some more garden beds. So we've kind of started working on that project already, and I just chucked them out there. That's where it gets the most sun in all of my garden, and they just decomposed in place, and they're perfectly fine. It just all died back. They're decomposing. It worked really great. Again, we're still in a very hot summery heat, and having the max amount of sun in my whole garden really helped with the decompostation. I guess that's the word. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, probably not. But here we are just harvesting some more pumpkins. It was crazy how many pumpkins was in this one section. I definitely was not expecting this many different types of pumpkin. Well, not different types, but different amounts of pumpkin. If you also have any great pumpkin recipe ideas, please let me know in the comments down below. I would absolutely appreciate more ideas. Like I said, we're going to be preserving some by canning and by in the freezer, and some as just already made meals, which I do have some plans, but there's still a lot of pumpkins to go. I also wanted to mention that these pumpkin vines I grew by seed. I planted 6 seeds at near the end of the winter growing season last year. All 6 of them germinated. They were really great strong seedlings. I then planted, I believe, 4 pumpkin vines, and 2 of them did get eaten by whatever bugs or insects, and these 2 were the 2 that remained. And let me tell you, I am so glad that 2 of them did unfortunately get destroyed when they were still very young, because having 4 pumpkin vines amongst how these 2 managed to grow would just be mind blowing to me. I don't know, just that would have been way too much. But I am now in my 2nd year of gardening. Technically, not quite my 2nd year yet, as I first started halfway in the winter season, and right now, at me doing this voiceover, we're getting into the autumn season, which I haven't started an autumn season yet. So I'm so excited to start that, and this is a lot of plants. It's going to take up this space. But just with today's effort, that is amazing.
Alright, so now we're back inside. I just wanted to go through each of these pumpkins. The reason why I did harvest all these pumpkins was purely because they were in the section that I wanted to clean up. Some of these pumpkins I would have harvested regardless. Some of these pumpkins, I think one actually just pretty much fell right off the vine. It was definitely ready. But in saying that, my previous pumpkins I have harvested, every single one was not 100% completely ready to harvest. But I harvested them, they're cured fine, they're storing fine, and we have used, I believe, 3 pumpkins. I currently got 3 storing, none curing. Normally I keep them in this corner of my counter, which obviously I don't know where I'm going to do this. It's just going to be now a whole section. But yeah, I'm not saying that every single one of these pumpkins will be fine. A lot of them are questionable. What they look like inside, I have no idea because of the stage that they are in. But yeah, regardless, they had to go. So I brought them in. I'm going to start curing them, and I will check them daily. So this one is one I am slightly worried about. This is probably the same stage of harvesting as my other pumpkins, with how dry on the outside the stem is. Not completely, but definitely has signs of drying, but more so the color. This grey color, greeny grey color, is what we want. But as you can see, she's got sunburn. She's got sunburn, and it is slightly soft. So this is why this one, well, like I said, they all got picked, but the reason why I'm a bit iffy with this one is purely because of the sunburn. All this yellow as well, this is all sunburn, but this is where it's a bit soft, where it's really orange. Otherwise, this color is what we want. And this section here is a bit of coloring that didn't quite, that's a bit young of coloring, didn't get quite this color that we wanted. So we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, every single day I will check these all over. I do need to put some paper towel down because some of them are a little sappy. This pumpkin here looks alright. Again, the stalk is slightly drying out the sides, a slight stage of drying out, slight sunburn on the bottom here as well, but this one's not soft at all, so I feel like this one will be a lot better. This one, this color is very pale, so it's not quite done. It's very small, very young of the color on the bottom, and this is very soft and hollow. So yeah, definitely one of the youngest. This one possibly would have been the one, or it might have been the other one, I'm not too sure now, that had just fallen off the vine completely because of how ready and dried out. And it's just crazy how thick it is, but this is definitely, I'd say, the biggest pumpkin of the lot. So this is definitely ready. Again, sunburnt pretty badly, the worst sunburnt, and it is soft as well in this patch, which is unfortunate. But my goodness, this one is a very big and heavy pumpkin. This again is one of the young ones. One of its leaves is stuck to it. So I don't know, when it dries up a bit, it might come off. Very sappy with the stalk, and very young of a stalk as well. And again, the color is just very young. So like that other small one, this is also one of the youngest. So the rate that it looks like inside, not too sure. It's just a mystery at this stage. Another one, this one looks alright. It's a little young with a stalk, but it does have signs of drying and aging. I feel like this is very similar to the other pumpkins that we have harvested previously. Like, it wasn't completely ready, but kind of close enough, I would say. No sunburn. This is just a little bit of like the young colouring, and otherwise the colour is pretty much perfect. So if I were out in the garden, I would have left this go a little bit longer just to get this dried out. But if it came off as well, like it obviously has, it's not a big worry. I'm not worried with that at all. This next one, similar, slightly more younger than the one I just shown. And again, it's just by how the stalk looks and more so just the colouring. It's quite green, which is also a sign of it being a bit young and underripe. But when they are curing, they'll definitely still ripen up a bit. So I'm not too worried about that one, which is great. But although I'm not worried about it, it does not mean that it's going to be perfect. This might be a complete flop in the curing stage and either get mold or just start to rot or just get very soft, age spots, etc. But that's why every single day I will pick up the pumpkin, I will check it all over, feel all the different spots, and then pop it back down. And if it does start to feeling too yucky, like it's not curing and it is starting to rot, then I will chop it up, see what it's like in the inside and preserve it if it's still good, or if it's just not, then unfortunately it's not. But like I said, regardless, these had to go. And I am shocked. I honestly thought I was going to get 4 or 5 pumpkins from the area. This one is one of the smallest, but again, the vine or the stalk is drying quite well. Just a very small little spot there. They could also be sunspots too, not so much young spot. But yeah, otherwise perfect. And I love how round this is. This is probably one of the more aesthetic pleasing pumpkins for it to be round and smooth. Another one, this is definitely perfect and fine. It does have sunburnt here. This is probably again overripe. It's very deep with its grey colour. Maybe this was the one that fell off the vine completely, and as you can see, the vine or the stalk is perfect. So yeah, a little bit of a sunburnt spot, but it's not soft at all, so that is great. My goodness, that one is a heavy pumpkin as well. And last but not least, this one is quite dirty, definitely the dirtiest pumpkin. It was just sitting on literal dirt. And yeah, perfect timing for it to be harvested. The vine or the stalk is nice and dried, no sunburnt, beautiful colour. So yeah, this one is fantastic. So that is going to wrap up today's video. There is still a lot more to go out in that garden. I did not get, I would say I got half of it done. The main half that I wanted done, I did get done, but unfortunately my hands started to get irritated. I need new gardening gloves because the gloves I did have had holes, so I just chucked them. So I did need to get more gardening gloves, and my secateurs or shears or whatever you want to call them are broken, and I was just getting so frustrated with them. But between that and my hands getting irritated, I was like, nah, I'm just going to stop this, start curing these ones, let the more pumpkins grow for a couple of weeks. I might even just let these cure completely, and then I'll pop them in storage, so then we can have not so much pumpkin on our bench to cure at one time. But thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe down below. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Oh, and if any got pumpkin recipes, let me know in the comments down below too. Bye.